If you are someone who wants to go faster on your bike, then chances are you've looked at buying a set of carbon wheels. Perhaps ones just like these. If you did indeed buy a set of Hunts, then I would like to personally commend you, because this set are indeed very fast, very stable, pretty light, and some of the best value carbon wheels that you can currently buy. Or are they? You see, every time that we make a video about our favourite wheels, the comments section of YouTube or the website is literally filled with people saying, but I can get far more wheel for my money direct from China. Or, this is just a Chinese wheel with an expensive sticker on it. Or that I'm being paid lots of money by these evil Western brands to tell you to buy their products. Well, A, this is not in any way a sponsored video, this is just my opinions. And B, to answer the other questions, I spent the last few months finding out if Chinese direct-to-consumer wheels are not just cheaper, but actually better than the best from the West as well. The answer might surprise you, so make sure you're subscribed and let's get into it. This is Hunt's new flagship wheel set, the Limitless Sub50s. And these claim to be the absolute fastest all-round racing wheel up to and including 50mm. What I'm trying to say is that we haven't chosen a wheel set that we don't like for this test. In fact, this is the successor to the wheels that have topped our carbon wheel set buyer's guide for the last 3 years running. Actually, on that note, I don't think that there's a single Western wheel brand that currently offers more performance at this price point. That's aerodynamic, stability, weight. But that got me thinking, what about if you looked further afield than the big name established brands? Cue Light Bicycle, a Chinese brand that has fast been eating up the market share from the likes of Hunt and its Western counterparts. Let's not kid ourselves. Most of us are aware by now that most Western cycling brands get the majority of their carbon fibre products manufactured in Asia. ENVE are a notable exception to this, but really, other than that, chances are your carbon wheels are being made in a factory in either Taiwan or China. You might, for some reason or another, feel a bit cheated to learn that, but the truth is that it's Asia where nearly all the expertise in carbon fibre manufacture are, and so it does make a lot of sense, from a quality point of view at least, for them to be produced there. If you take these Hunts as an example, they're designed in the UK, assembled in the UK and distributed from the UK. And then if you do have any issues with them, you can talk to a team of customer service staff that are guess where? Yep, the UK. Yes, the rims are made in the Far East, but using a closed mould, which means that no one else can use this design of rim profile. So, the next question that I want to tackle is why now? Why are we only just making this video about Chinese bike wheels? Because, as lots of people like to remind us in the comments, they have been around for quite a while. Well, there's a few reasons for it, but the main one has got to be that they're now a realistic option to your general consumer in the UK. There's now a really good choice. The brands are actually trying to be brands and not just flog them under an alias on AliExpress. And that means consistency, higher quality, and an absolute mind-boggling performance to price ratio. To illustrate this, I have turned these wheel sets into one of my favourite childhood games, Top Trumps. So first up, we have depth. The Hunts are 49.5mm deep, and the Light Bicycle Falcon Pros are 50mm deep. I'd say that one's a tie. I'm not going to give anyone a winner over 0.5mm. Next, we have internal width. That is 23mm wide on the Hunts and 25mm wide on the Light Bicycles. I think that's win for the Light Bicycle. Rims are getting wider. That future-proofs it just a little bit more. Next up, we have external width. I always find that wider wheels paired with nice wide tyres, 28 or 30mm tyres, results in more stability. So the Hunt's 34mm wide at the front and 30mm wide at the back. You can get away with a slightly narrower rim at the back because you've got less steering moment, so you can save a bit of weight there. However, the Light Bicycles go for the same rim profile front and back, 34.5mm wide, which, well, there's not much wider than the Hunts, but these manage it. You might therefore think that they're going to be heavier, but in actual fact, on our scales of truth, The light bicycles weigh 1,396 grams with tubeless tape fitted, and the Hunts are ever so slightly but still heavier at 1,410 grams with tubeless tape fitted. So what about the price? Well, as we previously mentioned, the Hunts are £1,479. That is really quite competitive for a flagship wheel set. The light bicycles, however, they're £1,180 and 53 pence. That includes all the VAT and taxes that you have to pay to get them to the UK. Basically £300 cheaper. The other category that I've added to my top trump cards, not because I don't like hookless wheels, but just because I still think that hooked wheels do offer you more tyre choice. Well, the Hunts aren't, and the light bicycles are. As you can see, the results are pretty damning. For £300 less than the best offering that the West has to offer, you can have a wider, lighter, deeper and hooked wheel set. I guess we'd better take a closer look at them. This is in fact not the first light bicycle wheel set that I've used. My dad has a set and he's been using them for the past few years with quite a lot of success, other than forgetting to spec them with drainage holes and the Western brand hub braking. Other than that, they've been very good. The rims have been perfect. This set though are seriously sci-fi. This 50mm deep wheel has this kind of twisted, wavy profile that is said to not only reduce air drag and improve crosswind stability, but also enhance lateral stiffness. The super wide profile will pair nicely with 28 or 30mm tyres, and in the centre of them I've opted for a set of DT Swiss 240 hubs. And that brings us on to another big advantage of buying wheels from someone like Light Bicycle. Whereas the Hunt Sub50s are available in two variations, either with steel or carbon fibre spokes, the Falcon Pros have almost endless possibilities. No, seriously, the choice is actually quite intimidating. Here on the Light Bicycle website, you can see that there's 7 different depths and widths of that wavy rim profile to choose from. Then there's 8 different hubs to choose from, and then various colours, ratchet tooth counts, blah blah blah. The result is well over 200 different combinations. To be honest, I was initially a little bit baffled by all this choice, and so what I decided to do was make the wheels as close to the Hunts as possible and then see what they cost. I think I came pretty close. They're almost identically deep, certainly as wide, and then I wanted hooks so that I can use them with more tyres that I have lying about. Next question then, what are they like out on the road? But before we get onto that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel for lots more tech deep dives. I think that I won't really be offending anyone by saying that it is now relatively easy to make a fast wheel. The difference between the fastest and the slowest wheels of the same depth is a matter of a few watts. And so it won't surprise you to find out that we found no measurable difference in our real world testing between the two wheel sets when they're equipped with the same tyres. These Panaracer Gravel Kings are a fair bit slower than the Pirellis that are on the Light Bicycle ones. Where wheel developments have really come on a long way in the last decade or so though is stability. Now, I was recently in Lanzarote, aka the windiest place on earth, and the difference has never been so visible. The Mavic Cosmics that my girlfriend was using from a decade or so ago were snapping about all over the place. And the Falcons, well, yes, there was a sideways pressure, but none of that sudden jerking about. And really, it really was an eye-opener of just how far we've come. This is an area that the Hunts also absolutely excel. This super wide rim profile just kind of bats off crosswinds like Freddie Flintoff, and they'll outperform just about every other wheel set of this depth. Unfortunately for Hunt, the Falcons are one of the very few wheel sets that can stand side by side with them. Now, I don't know if that's the waviness or if it's just to do with them being also super wide, but whatever it is, it works. Maybe then the Falcons are really floppy in a sprint. Well, no, they're not. Maybe they accelerate slowly. They don't. Maybe they come with worse equipment. Well, actually, the tubeless tape is much better than the ones that the Hunts came with, and the tubeless valves are pretty much identical. You do get a set of wheel bags with the Hunts though, so there's some points clawed back. So, If these light bicycle wheels really are just as good out on the road as the Hunt, then how can they be cheaper? Well, to find out, I contacted Light Bicycle to see what they had to say. Light Bicycle told us that very early on they took a risk to go direct to consumer. When they say direct to consumer, they really do mean direct to consumer. There is no middlemen. They own the factory that these are made in, and then they ship them out straight to the customer. Now, they say that having those middlemen will push up the end price, and I completely get that. Warehouses cost lots of money. Paying someone else's factory, they're going to take a cut. If your wheels are in a shop on a shelf, then that is again going to push up the end price. With Light Bicycle, you have none of that. My next question to Light Bicycle was about quality control, because this set are really good, but how do we know that all the others are also this good? Well, Light Bicycle said that there are definitely not any fewer quality checks in place. In fact, they think there's more. They say that it's a constant battle to change the narrative on Chinese-made products, but that they are extremely proud of their people and processes and would happily put their rims up against any brand in the industry. Fighting talk. So what are the negatives of getting a wheel set like this? First and foremost, I think, is delivery time. So Light Bicycle have done quite a lot to try and overcome this. They have warehouses in Canada and Europe, and you can buy a stock set of wheels, so ones that they've built up already, or your custom builds come direct from China. Either way, it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks for you to get them on your doorstep. Whereas with Hunt, if they're in stock, then realistically you're looking at 2 days. You can have them on your bike ready to go. That also has connotations with warranty time. So the Light Bicycle ones come with a 5-year warranty because they're part of the Pro series, and the Hunts, this Sub50, come with a lifetime warranty. So with the Hunts, if you have an issue with them, you can get in touch with some people in Sussex and you will be probably on a new wheel set by the weekend. You go to Light Bicycle, I'm sure they'll uphold their warranty, but best will in the world, they've got to get that rim to you. They've got to get that replacement wheel to you, and that's probably going to take a week at best. Like, it's quite a long way from China, isn't it? The other thing that the Hunts are better at is your crash replacement. So these Sub50s come with free H-Care, free crash replacement for the first owner for life. The Light Bicycles, you do get some crash replacement. You get 25% off a new set if you crash them. So yeah, in conclusion, I think that these wheels have proven that Chinese wheels have caught up. And just because they're cheaper doesn't mean they don't perform as well. Now, I think that's really interesting because 10, 15 years ago, probably 15 years ago, no one was riding Hunts. They were riding wheels from the likes of Zipp, Mavic. They were the top dogs. And now Hunt has taken a huge market share out of them because they managed to prove that you could get just as much performance for less. Well, now there's kind of a new kid on the block, and they have once again proved that you can get more performance for less. Now, I think that means that just as 10 years ago, 15 years ago, no one was riding Hunts, you don't see many of these about in the UK at the moment. I think in the next 10 years, we will be seeing a lot more. And that's going to be food for thought for a lot of Western wheel brands. Hunt have obviously made their whole brand about high performance, but without costing you an absolute shed load of cash. They're going to have to continue doing what they're doing. There's a lot of other Western brands that are going to have to seriously pull their fingers out because the days of people spending $3 on a set of Zips, I think they're gone. So let me know which ones you would choose down in the comments section below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed this kind of content, and subscribe to the channel for lots more bike tech. We'll see you next time.